so late, but the thing is that my friend could only get me a few tickets, and I don't know
Mm-hmm.
why because there were plenty. Maybe he was out of short of time or something. Because when he told me, he said to me that he could only get me two tickets instead of six. I said, "Well, okay." But then when I got there were plenty of tickets available still.
Teacher, sorry, can you just wait me 1 minute?
Yeah, of course, no
Thank you.
problem. Yes.
Hello. Ay, no, gracias. ¿De qué? Gracias, cuídate. Nos vemos igual. Bye. I'm back, teacher, sorry.
Yeah. Excuse me.
Bless
No,
you.
no problem. No problem. Thanks. Yeah. So it was truly nice.
So there were,
There still were a few places. I mean, the
yeah.
theater in the first stage, in the first part, was full, but in the second and third rows, there was still
Mm-hmm.
space, and they still had tickets. So when they told me, that's when I called you. But it was already a bit late, right? I suppose.
Yeah, because I told to my parents, but they say, well, we need to search a place to park the car, and then, uh, how do you say, get dressed, get prepared
Yeah,
for the concert, and
yeah, exactly,
yeah.
exactly. Yeah,
So
it's
well,
very last minute, so yeah, I understand that. Sorry, but well,
no, teacher, don't
there
worry.
was,
Thank you.
there was, yeah. Uh, Let me send a message to a guy uh,
Yeah,
that wanted to make a phone call, but I said to him that I'm in class now. But well, yeah, that's how it was. And then after that, we went for dinner, and he was just sharing a lot of great experiences with a bunch of people. There was the dean of the University of Guanajuato. There were some people there, and it was very nice that we were able to dine with him.
that's
The-
great. So it
yeah,
was a good concert.
it was very good. And then I found a person who was your dad and my teacher too. Was your dad's teacher and my teacher. His name is De La Torre. He was the teacher of drawing, technical drawing, back in 1986, 1987. So we talk about more than 35 years ago.
Yeah, well,
That was your dad's teacher and my teacher too, Mr. De La Torre. And his daughter was a piano concertist as well, and she
mm,
was there. Silvia de la Torre was the name of the lady, and she's there too. She was there too. And I saw her father. He was already an elderly man, and I
yeah,
told him, "Hey, teacher, remember I was your student 35 years ago at FIME?" He goes, "Yes, I think I remember. What's your name?" And I told him,
yeah,
he must have forgotten, but yeah, he was
yeah.
our teacher. He was the teacher of everyone in FIME 30 some years ago, and his daughter is a pianist now.
That's great.
Yeah,
The word is so little.
it is. It is exactly when you think about, um, yeah, how the scope of our life has expanded compared to previous generations, right? So, for example, mention one thing, Mickey, and I was thinking about that last night for today's class. Something that you think that is difficult to achieve, and I think it's going to be a difficult question. What is difficult to conquer? Because now the world seems to be so boundless with no boundaries. So, what do you think is difficult to achieve?
Mm, in a
In a
in a
personal way, let's
personal
say,
way. Oh,
yeah, let's say
oh.
that you say, well, I want to become a businessman. Well, you are already a businessman, right? So,
Hmm.
I want to do a master's. mean, well, many people don't even have primary school, but now you're going to have a master's degree. So I'm not saying that it's easy, but it's achievable. I mean, it's something human, something that a human can achieve with effort, determination, discipline, ambition, motivation, but something that you
Mm,
would say, wow, this is really, really difficult.
I'm thinking because, yeah, as you mentioned, uh, I think that in actuality there are a lot of ways to achieve a specific thing. So I think that is not too complicated. Obviously, depending. I'm talking since my my point of view, since my um, how can I say it? Since my
Your own context.
yeah, exactly the word is context. Since my own context, but probably mm, I don't know. The things are getting more expensive. Probably now it is difficult to buy a house instead of years ago. In the
Okay.
past, probably. I think that things are now more expensive. And, it's not impossible, but it's something difficult, probably.
Getting a house. Um, well, that's a good comment, and it's true also. It's also true. In your perception, Mickey, do you think it's harder to get for our generation or for your generation than for your parents' generation? Do you think
Yeah,
it's more difficult now?
yeah, obviously because the prices increased, and a part of that, now we are more people, so
Hmm.
more people wants to get a house. So I think that there's more demand, probably.
There's more demand, and in theory, prices should be lower, but in reality, they have risen, right? Prices have risen so high that now it is harder to get a house. It is, yeah, and it's true actually. Um, what else is difficult to achieve? How? What else?
Mm, probably in occasions, trusting people.
Trust in people. Well, that's an interesting concept. Trust in people. So your perception, Mickey, is that uh, people in general are less trustworthy. Is that your perception? People. Let me share this with you. Sorry. Uh, people in general. People in general are less trustworthy. Worthy. Why is so? Why is that? What's your explanation for this?
Mm, I don't know. I think that there are a lot of people that is just pretending to be someone that they are not, and in occasions, I think that we want to more the people of my age of my of my generation. Sometimes I think that they want to pretend someone that they're not, and I think that normally we put like a wall, like trying to establish your limits, and that's why it is difficult to trust in someone because they are not showing you really who they are. I think so. Not all people, but I met a lot of people, and it looks like like fake people, you know.
Okay, that's incredibly interesting because I thought that happened in my generation and that would disappear or dissipate in the next generation, in the generation of my daughters or in your generation. That
Hmm.
was my thought when I was your age. Actually, I was in college, in university. I was 22, 23, and I had that exactly that same feeling, Mickey. I thought people were fake, superficial, shallow, not sincere, not honest.
Yeah.
Not everyone, but some people. And I thought, well, that's maybe part of my generation. That's gonna dissipate. That's gonna disappear in the next one. And so I'm surprised by your comment. But also, there are plenty of people who are honest, trustworthy,
Yeah, of course.
sincere, friendly. It's just that it's like you need to find them, and they are there, and there are plenty of people, and you will find them because it's sometimes you need to look deeper into the people's souls or actions. Actually, you know this motto that says actions talk louder than words.
Yeah, of course. Exactly.
Sometimes we get distracted by the way people talk and we forget looking at how they act. But if you just look at how they act, you will be able to make a correct assessment, I think. But of course, that like everything else, which is important, it requires some effort, some attention, some observation that you say, well, he or she is doing this. And then you're able to decide what you need to decide, right?
Yeah, exactly. I think that way. I think that it is not it is not easy to trust in someone in the first time. So I think
Yes.
that in reality, you need to really know them, really know, as you mentioned, the way in how they act, and I think that that's why it's sometimes not easy so easy to trust in people like instantly. You know, you need to really know them, know how they are, and obviously it requires an effort, and yeah, obviously there's gonna be people that are amazing, that are people with like this good soul, but in occasions there are people that pretend to be that, and it's something completely different.
Also, I think, Mickey, and this is a personal concept. I don't know
Mm-hmm.
if all people will agree or not with this, but there are
Mm-hmm.
circles which are inner within each other, right? This is a circle, this is another circle, and you permit or don't permit people access your inner circles, right? And sometimes they can be intercrossed. Sometimes people can go in and out. And one friend of mine who was a psychiatrist said once to me that people relationships are a little bit like magnets. Sometimes you approach, sometimes you go a little bit further. It's like in constant oscillation.
Yeah.
And that concept
Hmm.
seemed to me very interesting because uh, it really looks like that at times, at least within my family and friends. I sometimes feel like that is true. Sometimes people are like magnets, and we let them in and let them out, or they come in and go out constantly, right? So, like in constant oscillation, they get closer to your intimate thoughts and ideas. Maybe you think, well, this is only for my parents, only for my close friends. And then you say, well, this is a good friend. I trust him. I share with him or with her important things of my life, of the world, your perspectives, your ambitions, your goals, or whatever you want, right? You decide what you want to share with people or listen to them also, because that's also a personal decision. And it can become more personal, more intimate, or it can become more external. And you say, well, that's something very vague, very ambiguous, very trivial, and I don't care too much. Or maybe it is something very personal. And then you decide how close in the inner circles you allow them to be. And that is a phrase that you I think it was you who said this, that you build trust, right? You build trust. It's
Yeah.
not something that comes up automatically. It's something that you build through time. I think was it
Hmm.
you who said this, Mickey?
Yeah.
Okay. And how do you build trust then? If it's something that you build like a house. If it
Uh-huh.
was a house, how do you build it?
Mm, I think that there are different ways to do it, and one of them is uh, respecting your own beliefs, respecting your way of thinking, and acting in the way that it's supposed that you think. Uh, like if you say this, that the way in how you act, respecting that, it's is the way how you mentioned it before. Not say
Exactly.
something and do something completely different.
Yeah, exactly. That is true. Yeah, that is true. What are some of the things that you have seen people say and act in a different way?
mm, I don't know, but for example, I have met people that they they say something about someone, and it's not like a good thing, but then they say hi like if nothing nothing passed, like yeah, he's my friend and he asked that
Ah,
he's a
okay.
friend, and I saw that, and that's why I don't like to completely trust in people. Instead of I met them a long time ago, but if I meet someone new, I try to establish like I don't know if something good or not, but like my own boundaries. I don't want to overpass them. Instead, that they give me like the trust of they are good people.
Right. Yeah, that is called in English bad mouthing. Bad mouthing someone. Bad mouthing is when you speak,
Hmm.
you say bad things about a person. Bad mouthing someone,
Hmm.
and then hugging him in public, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah, that is. But yeah, that is quite common, and you see that a lot. And, well, that gives you a warning that as soon as you turn around, they're gonna what they called backstabbing. Backstabbing. You know the term stab?
No, too sure.
Stab is to insert a knife in someone's back. Stab,
Mm,
right? Like an
yeah.
assassin stabs. So you turn around and they stab you in the back.
Yeah.
Well, okay, well, that's yeah, that's why. Yeah, it's important to maintain certain discretion and caution with. I understand how you feel because I felt exactly like that, and I had this argument with my mom and my brother because they thought that I was overly open with my things, with my personal things, and that I was very easy and fast to share things. And my mom warns me that, she says, the world is not so. I mean, she said to me that I was naive. You know the
Hmm.
word naive, right?
Yeah.
She says to me, sometimes you look to be too naive. You think that everyone is good, and sometimes you provide too much access to your personal things, to your information, or to whatever, but they give it bad use. So you need to be cautious, protect yourself, and this and that. And I said, no, mom, you're exaggerating. And then I realized that she was right in a way, right? So,
Yeah.
but well, you learn through
Of course.
trial and error, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
Oh,
Exactly happened to me too. Because I noticed that more in preparatory is
yes.
when I started notice like, oh my god, this person talk, uh, how to say bad mouthing, or he used bad mouthing. How do you say it?
He bad mouths his
Ah, okay.
friends. He is bad
Yeah,
mouthing his friends.
yeah, that he was bad mouthing his friends, and then he say hi like if nothing happens, and it's like, oh my god, how people can be so so fake in a way, you know, and that's why I don't like to let them let people enter in my life without time uh, meeting them, you know,
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Yeah, yeah,
without
yeah.
meeting
That
them.
Yeah, that's true. So with your concept that you build trust throughout time means that you build friendship like you build a house. It takes time. You build the foundation first, mutual respect, mutual communication, mutual reliance. You rely on him or her, and she or he relies on you. They say, "Well, I know that if I ask Mickey to do this for me, he will do it or she will do it." If you think of her, of him, and conversely the same because it's reciprocal, right? So the relationships are normally have a reciprocal way, reciprocal character. If you agree with that, I'm sure you will agree.
Yeah,
uh, so one of the things that are interesting about things which are um, important concepts about this topic is, how about long lasting happiness? Do you think that is something easy to achieve, or is something that you have to work for? Or some people get long lasting happiness? Because I can be very happy for a minute when America or when Pumas wins a match. I'm happy for 5 10 minutes, and then I go back to my fridge and I notice that it's empty. So I says, geez, I shouldn't have made that bet. I shouldn't have gambled, right?
that's true.
So long lasting happiness, can you get that, and how do you get it?
mm, I don't know. I think that uh, I have read different opinions about happiness, um, and for example, you know that there are a lot of books talking about happiness, and it's one of the topics in bestsellers when you are searching books and articles about it. Uh, I don't think that it's possible to always be
Yeah,
happy.
exactly.
So, uh, and I think that when you are sad and then you're happy, you can uh, really appreciate the happiness that you have in that moment. So probably I don't think that there is like a long-lasting happiness. And a part of that, I think that in their society, um, it's more difficult to have happiness about something or about someone because there are a lot of things and it happened to me too that I purchased as pair of sneakers like 1 month and a half ago, and the motion was before the sneakers arrived to my house because when it arrives, obviously I open, I did like a little unboxing, and then it was like I used 2 or 3 times, and then the motion that I had before having it, have the
Dissipates.
pair exactly. So I think that it's something bad and that I need to work on that, but yeah, I think that it's more difficult now in our society because there are a lot of things, new cars, new cell phones, new places to visit, new restaurants, whatever, and I think that it's a little bit difficult to feel like how can I say it? Mm,
Permanently happy.
exactly. Yeah,
And I
that's a good
think,
word.
Mickey, if you allow me to share this with you, I think that is a misleading concept that society says. Someone says that you need to look for constant or long lasting happiness. I think that is a mistake. And the mistake is because of this. And that's my personal perception, of course. We have various emotions, and we have the emotions for a reason. We have obviously happiness, but we have also fear.
Yeah.
And you say fear, but fear is bad. Well, not always. Fear protects you. Fear
Mhm.
protects the prey from the predators, right? Because of fear, a zebra is able to escape from a lion, or we are able to escape from a poisonous plant, or from a truck that is driving in the highway, right? You are driving your car to Guanajuato, and then there is a truck that is driving 140 kilometers per hour. And if
Yeah.
you were fearless, you would say, well, I don't care. Well, he just runs over you. So fear protects you, protects us, right? Then you have sadness. Sadness is also a legal feeling. I mean, a relative, a good friend, my mother's friend for
Hmm.
72 years passed away, and she just died. And well, what can you do about that but feel sad? Well,
Yeah,
that's a
exactly.
legal
Yeah.
emotion. So I think we have every right to live every emotion that we have, even scorn, 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 which is one of the basic emotions, disdain. And I still keep thinking about the legality of this emotion. Um, I don't feel disdainful because or scornful about a person who doesn't have a house, for example, because they have the right to live in a place, or because they don't have food. Well, I don't have that feeling against them because they have every right to have food, to have a place to live, to have shelter. But I feel disdainful, for example, about the people who take advantage of the poor, take advantage of the ignorant, take advantage of people in a lower condition or
Hmm.
less favorable condition. And I feel this disdain. I say that they are not worthy of trust. They are not worthy of
Hmm.
respect. Uh, so that is also a feeling that humans have. I think there are seven basic feelings. I don't know if you can help me look up for the basic emotions, Mickey, please. I
Yeah.
think there are seven or nine basic emotions the humans have.
The basic emotions are
Yes, yes.
anger,
Anger, anger,
surprise,
surprise,
disgust,
disgust,
enjoyment,
enjoyment,
fear, and sadness.
fear, and sadness. Okay, very good. So, anger, surprise, disgust, enjoyment, fear, and sadness. There are what, six?
Six.
Six basic emotions. Okay, very good. So they are more or less similar to this one. Sadness and fear are exactly the same. Scorn, which is disdain, is disgust.
Hmm.
Is a synonym.
Hmm.
Scorn and enjoyment can be more or less equivalent to happiness.
Happiness.
Happiness, right, more or less. Anger, you get angry if you see someone abuse of a minor, right? They are beating him up. You get angry, or you see how people maybe abuse their employees or something that makes you angry. So these are all legal feelings. So why, the question is, why do we want to suppress all the emotions? I mean, I want to never be angry and I want to never have fear or be sad. Well, that's not human. That's impossible, actually. We are entitled to our emotions. What do you think
Yeah.
about this, Mickey?
Yeah, of course. I think that uh, obviously we are uh, emotional beings, and we experience all those emotions. And I think that it is not fair to try to, how can I say, surprise them or to,
Suppress, yes, yeah, yeah.
yeah. Instead, I think that it's necessary to just canalize them and use it in your favor. Because obviously, as you mentioned, if you see something that it's injustice, probably it's gonna cause you anger. You're gonna be angry, and it's okay. But obviously, you don't need to make that this anger affects you in your life. So it is necessary to try to canalize them, and instead, if you feel happiness, try to understand that it's probably just a moment. Probably it's just when you're in vacations, or probably whatever. So try to mm, understand that and canalize it too.
Okay.
And with uh
How do you channel all your emotions? You want to channel your emotions, which is a good thing. And I like the word. I like the concept, right? You want to direct them, give them a direction, a purpose. How do you, for example, how do you channel anger? You get angry because there is poverty in the world. You get angry because there is abuse, authorities abuse. You get angry because, I mean, there are so many reasons to get angry, right? How do you channel those feelings, Mickey?
mm, I think that first of all, you need to see if you can change that situation. If not, probably you don't need to give a lot of attention because uh, in occasions the problem is just there and you cannot do nothing.
For example, in which cases you cannot do anything?
I don't know. For example, you saw a person that assault someone and took the her back, and he just go away in his motorcycle. If you saw the person go away, well, in that moment, you what can what can you do? Right? You can probably help in this moment to the girl, like, hey, are you okay? You need something, and that's all. Why do you still with this anger? It's difficult. I'm not saying that I'm gonna do it in that way, but I think that it's important to understand their emotion, understand the cause of them, and see if we can do something or not.
Yeah, that is true. And maybe we cannot help at the moment. We cannot help right now, but maybe we can help to prevent the next robbery or the next theft
Yeah.
or the next mug. When they mug somebody, which is
Mhm.
assault with violence, or let's use assault, assault, we can do something to prevent the next one. Maybe tell the neighbors, you know what, we need to install a camera here. Or, I mean, it's a complex situation. Crime is always complex, but it has always existed, right?
Yeah.
And the reason why people commit crimes, they go beyond the social boundaries. This is not permitted in society, and they still go beyond the line. They say, I don't care, I'm going to go and assault that person or that store or that bank or that whatever. They are breaking the rules, they are living out of the norm. There is a reason for that too. So the more we understand the complexities of the situation, the better we are prepared to give a solution, because the solution may not only be to put more fences or protections in the broccoli field. Maybe the people are starving and they need to eat. So I'm not saying that it's good to steal or to rob or to assault anyone.
Mhm.
What I'm saying is that we can set temporary solutions, or we can set or try to set more permanent solutions. That's
Yeah, that is
and,
true.
and the more we know about a situation, the better we are prepared to fix it, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But I fully agree with your concept, Mickey. We need to live our emotions. And what do you think about this idea, Mickey? Leave them in a balance. In other words, they go up and then they go down,
Yeah.
every one of your emotions. You are happy temporarily because you got your new sneakers, which is is a valid feeling. I have felt like that too, right? I got a new music score. I
Hmm.
got Chopin's concert number two score, music score. And then I noticed that it was not so simple to play. And then I said, well, I shouldn't be so happy, right? I thought it was much easier to play.
Yeah.
But well, I'm just making a joke. But so your emotions go up and down, up and down. And you get your sneakers, you use them 3 4 times, you get your new car, you get very happy, then you go back to normal. You enter the master's degree, you say, oh, now I'm doing a master's, and all the family are very happy. Then it becomes something normal, which is okay. I mean, it's valid. You cannot live in permanent ecstasies all your life. That is not real, that's not human, right? We cannot live here 24 hours a day.
Yeah, it's true. I think that a problem that is happening in our society is that we want to always be in the height of the top. That
Yeah.
like we always wants to experiment the same feeling, and and that's why this society is so consumist in a way because always we want to get happiness. I don't know, getting new things, getting new clothes, getting new cell phones, getting new whatever. So I think that it's important to understand our feelings, understand our emotions, and then understand that the emotions are always changing, and And rotating too, I think so.
Exactly. Absolutely. And with all the emotions, you
Yeah.
mentioned fear, sadness, anger, surprise, disgust. Now, do you think is it important to understand what gives you enjoyment or happiness, what gives you fear, sadness, what causes each of these emotions, which are the triggers of these emotions, Mickey? Is it important? And do you identify what causes these emotions in you, more or less?
Yeah, in occasions.
Okay, can
But
you give us an example, please? For
yeah,
example,
for
what gives
example,
you enjoyment or happiness? I'm sorry. Yes, yes, yes.
uh, gives me happiness when my dad told me the last week that we're gonna go out for vacations. That gives me happiness. Or that I'm gonna do a trip. For example, the next Sunday I'm gonna go to uh, Tlalpujawa. I think that it's called in that way. It's like a little town in. I think that it's in Michoacan,
Oh, okay.
and it's like a Christmas town. I don't know if you have seen it in Facebook or in YouTube.
What is the
It
name of the
looks
town?
nice. Tlalpujawa.
Ah, Tlalpujahua. I have seen the name, I think, but I have never been there. Is this in Michoacan?
Yeah, it's gonna be my first time.
Wow, okay.
So
And
I understand that that gives me happiness because I know that I'm gonna do probably something different. That I'm gonna visit something that I have never been before.
okay. Well, that's very nice. That is an example of enjoyment, of happiness. You go there, you become happy, then you get excited, you do lots of activities, and then you come down to normal, right? When you come back and you say, well, now I'm relaxed back again, which is all right. I mean, emotions have a fluctuating nature. They
Yeah.
fluctuate, and that is normal, right? How about the other emotions, Mickey? Fear, sadness, anger, surprise, disgust. What gives you the surprise? What causes surprise in you? An example or two, maybe.
Mm, surprise. Mm, I don't know. Sometimes I think that it's difficult to me to be surprised for something. I don't know. Probably lately I feel surprised about the different ways that exist to making money. Could be one.
Okay.
Yeah.
So normally things that are novel or new for us
Yeah.
cause a surprise, right?
Yeah.
Novel things. Yeah. And that's maybe because you are young, you are curious, you are eager to learn, to discover new things, and then you discover something. For example, they told you about this place that gave you enjoyment or happiness, and maybe now you're curious or you're surprised to know, oh, I didn't know this town had these marvels or this market or this aircraft or that the people had these uses or customs or something, right? So
Yeah.
normally novel things cause us surprise. Do you agree with this concept, Mickey?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Have you visited other towns that have caused you surprise or that you are in awe, that you are, uh, it's,
Yeah.
yeah?
hmm for example, Real de 14.
How was it?
What's is like if you travel in time to the past because the city is almost empty and the construction, the streets, everything gives you like a different vibe or what you are get used to probably in your in your daily life. So until the way how people, uh, obviously probably they are in of the tourism, but the way how they dress and the way how they tell about the stories about this place, about the place. Yeah, it was nice, and I didn't know nothing about Real de 14 until I was there.
And where is this? In what state is this?
I think that it's in San Luis Potosí. Let me search it.
Okay, thank you, Mickey. Because I've heard of the place and I've heard nice things also, but I have never visited
Yeah, in San Luis Potosí.
San Luis. Okay.
Yeah, it's sometimes there are tour pages that make tours there. Normally, it's when it's in the winter season because sometimes I think that in Real de 14 snows. So
Oh, okay.
it's a nice place. If you search some page, it's like if you were in, I don't know, it gives me the vibe like in the Revolution.
Oh, really? In times of the
Yeah,
revolution.
in the Revolution.
Okay. Very nice. Well, we're talking about a very complex concept. They are close to us, but they always make us think, right? There are some more concepts that can be I don't want to say difficult to achieve, but it's something that people normally look to achieve. Those are concepts that everyone knows, and we strive to get. And that is another one: professional success. Um, so, long-lasting happiness is something that can be misleading. We can
Mhm.
say that people are looking for long-lasting happiness. Well, yeah, but in the process, you need to live all the emotions. Let, as you say, you let them, you channel your emotions, which is something very important. Not to live and command your personality, but you channel them. But there is this other concept, Mickey: professional success, right? Professional success. What about that? What is your thought? What are your thoughts about professional success?
Professional success probably is when you achieve all the goals that you planted about your professional journey. I don't know, for
Okay,
example, get a get a position in a company or start your business and make the business sustainable for itself.
okay,
Yeah, probably that, or get a promotion.
okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's. And so you more or less have a clear idea on how to get professional success, right? You know more or less the roadmap. If there is a roadmap, actually sounds like a book, right? Roadmap to professional success. That's the title of your next book, Mickey.
yeah, probably.
What is this roadmap to professional success?
Mm,
Roadmap to professional success.
Probably,
Yes.
uh, if we want to get a certain decision, obviously we're gonna start in probably in the lowest position, and it is normal. So probably for some we're gonna start working in the company.
Okay. So how would you say? Would you gain experience?
Yeah, gain
Gain experience.
experience. Mm,
Then
and when you
what?
gain experience, you understand how the company works and what is the company looking for.
Works? How companies work in general, right?
Yeah.
What would be the next step or next stage for professional success?
Mm,
Do you think people need, because it's a buzzword now, people need to develop an ethical attitude
it must. They
towards
must
work?
to develop that.
They must develop that, right? Develop an ethical attitude towards work. That will open many doors and that will gain you trust. What else, Mickey? We are ready for our next book.
Mm-hmm. um, Probably. Mm,
Well, you said a while ago, make it sustainable. I
yeah.
like that word. Make it sustainable. If you are in a company, you want to be there for so many years according to your plan to gain experience, or if you want to be there permanently, like our maybe grandparents or great grandparents generation, they say, I secured a job and I want to die in this job. Well, that's valid. Or you want to gain experience and start a business, or you want to make your business sustainable. That depends on the person, but you want to have sustainable success, right? Make it
Yeah.
sustainable. And what else? Let's write one more ingredient for professional success.
Um, I think that when not all people, but when people obtain this professional success, in occasions wants to help the others, or wants to be like an example to the young generations.
That's truly nice. Become an example or an icon for generations to learn. You like how it is written? Become an icon, become an example for generations to learn. I believe that is very important, that you not only succeed, but you also want to share your knowledge, your experience, your wisdom, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's professional success, which is very important. Uh, One other goal, which is something people look for in personal terms, is satisfying relationships. And that is not only in terms of love; it's in terms of friendship, a social circle, uh, everywhere. Right? We want to have satisfying relationships. We want to spend our time with people we admire, we respect, we learn something from, even if they are younger than you. They sometimes teach you lots of things. For example, when I work with younger people, it's like re-nurturing yourself because they are so optimistic. Sometimes their naivety, eh, I mean, when we are young, we are sometimes a bit naive. That
Yeah.
tells you how clean they are in their souls. That doesn't mean that we need to be like children, that everyone takes a candy from you, right? But in general, is you learn a lot from younger people. Well, in my case, also from older people, right? So, what kind of relationships do you like to have, Mickey, or build, construct? What type of relationships?
Obviously, sincere relationships.
Sincere, right?
Probably, it is necessary that they think in the same way that me, and I think that in occasions it's good to have relationships that think in a different way to you. I think so.
Variety of beliefs.
Hmm.
Okay. Yeah, that, of course. What else is important in the relationships that you build, Mickey?
Well, we mentioned trust.
Trust, trustworthy relationships. They must be trustworthy.
Hmm.
What else is important?
Mm. probably that they help you and you help them when the situation requires.
To help when, okay, the situation calls for it.
Hmm.
All right, mutual help or mutually helpful when the situation calls for it. All right, so that's how you build a social circle, social relations, and that is incredibly important. Now, there is a concept which you are going to be familiar with, I'm sure, which is work-life balance. I mean, it is known that societies like the American society, the Saxon society, the English, the German sometimes, Saxon societies tend to live for work. They don't live to enjoy life. They live to work and work and work, and that's all they do. And they don't know where they are going, but they just say work and work and work, and they don't have a balance. How do you achieve this balance in your life?
Mm, I think that is always necessary to establish uh, boundaries in everything, boundaries in your work, and try uh, to establish your what's this word
Priorities
exactly, your priorities,
or goals? Okay,
your priorities.
priorities. Okay. What are in not in your personal case, but in general, what are the priorities of people in general? Not in your case, but in the case of the normal people, the social being, which are the priorities in their lives?
The
Okay, you
priorities in
can
their
start.
lives, getting more money, being wealthier.
Okay, okay, that is an interesting comment. Being wealthier for what? What do they want to achieve? Because money is a means to satisfy some needs, right? I mean, it's not a satisfaction per se, but it's a way to get some satisfactions.
Yeah.
You agree? What would they satisfy? Obviously, the need for food, clothing, and shelter, right? Which are more or less the basic needs.
Hmm.
What else do they need? I mean, other than food, clothes, and shelter, what else do we strive for in life?
mm, that the money could give.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Probably luxury in a way too.
Luxuries. Okay, luxuries.
Luxuries, comfortability,
Comfort. Do people
comfort.
look for
Yeah.
comfort?
People look for uh, better services.
Better services. Okay, agreed. Um, there is a book, Mickey, written by a famous French sociologist called Pierre Bourdieu. Pierre Bourdieu. Bourdieu. People say Bourdieu, Bourdieu. I looked up in dictionaries, and it's more or less the same. Bourdieu, Bourdieu, Bourdieu. And he wrote a book that I got in Spanish, but I think we need to get this book in English. The name is in English, La Distinción. In Spanish, I'm sorry. So in English must be like the distinction. And it's a great book. Great, great. It's like an icon. It's one of the best books ever written in, well, this was written in French. but about social life, sociology, how people live, and it talks about why people detach themselves from the other people, how the different classes are structured in society, how you move through society up or down, like in the game of stairs and serpents. Do you remember that game, Mickey?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
That you get in the tip of the stairs and you go up,
yeah.
and then you hit the tail of a snake and you go down, right?
Mhm.
Well, this book talks about the distinction, how people become distinguished from the others, obviously. And it's a great sociological study that gives you a lot of light and a lot of insight about society. So why don't we try to look for this book? This book is written in English, Mickey. Maybe we can get it now. Let's see. You think we can get it? La Distinción,
Maybe
Pierre Bourdieu. Look it up.
the distinction.
The Distinction, Pierre Bourdieu.
Pierre Bourdieu PDF.
Let's see. It is there.
I think that I found it.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, I think so.
Amazing.
It's called Distinction, a social critique of the judgment of taste.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Perfect. Do you think you can share it? Is that something
Yeah,
we can download?
yeah, it's in PDF.
Ah, amazing. Amazing. Well, you can please send it to me. And it'd be nice if we can go through the book and discuss some of the chapters. And I'm sure that you're going to enjoy it because thank you, Mickey. Let me put
Yes,
it
sir.
here. Let's see. I'm gonna share what you sent. Okay, here. The book is the Adobe. What is the book? Oh, here, right?
Yeah, I sent you the link in the private chat too.
Oh, the link. Okay, very nice. Thank you, Mickey. Okay, so here it is. Okay. A social critique of the judgment of taste. Why people like this type of cars, this type of clothes, this type of food, and what it means in terms of social uh, status, social preferences. It's a great book, Mickey. I suggest that if you have the opportunity to read it, you're
Hmm.
gonna appreciate it, you're gonna enjoy it, and as a side effect, you're gonna learn a lot about how society works. Although I'm sure that is something intuitive, almost, right?
I'm gonna
Something
read
that,
it.
yeah, you're gonna enjoy this book. It's a great book, one of the classics of sociology. Okay, so it has a preface. Let me see. I got it. Thank you, Mickey.
Yes,
Here
sure.
is the book. How many pages does it have?
632.
Oh, well, it's
A little bit long.
but you're gonna a bit long, yeah, but you're gonna enjoy it. It's a book that sooner or later, no, I mean not sooner or later, decades ago, it started to impact people because they analyze how people behave, how people uh, get all these traits that make them similar or different to others. And like the game of stairs and serpents, you go up and down in the social status, and it allows you to understand lots of things that we normally discuss here in class. Okay, Mickey.
I'm gonna read it.
Well, so we're even with the classes, aren't we? Yeah, you're gonna enjoy it.
Yeah, 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 teacher.
I think we
With
are
this class,
we're okay, right? Back to
we're
normal.
okay. Yeah.
We're back to normal. Okay. So the next meeting would be on Monday, Mickey. Monday in the morning.
Yes, teacher. If you wish at 8:30 or at 9, so just tell me.
Normally 8:30 is okay, but last night I went with my friend to an event from her work,
Mm-hmm.
and we came back very late, so I couldn't sleep very well. So I kind of overslept a little bit. But yeah, normally 8:30 is fine. Normally 8:30 is fine.
Perfect, teacher.
Let's leave
Yeah,
it a
we'll stay
little
in
bit
touch.
flexible, 8:30, 8:45, but normally 8:30 or 8:45 would be great, if
Don't
possible,
worry.
Mickey.
It's perfect, teacher.
Okay?
Yeah.
Well, hopefully you enjoy the book. It's a great book, and I'm sure you're gonna learn a lot from it. You're gonna enjoy it too. You're gonna appreciate it. You're gonna like it. And so, okay, Mickey, see you then on Monday, and good luck with everything.
Thank you, teacher. Thank you. Have a nice weekend and we'll stay in touch.
Okay, we stay in touch. See you Monday